Giveaways are another great place to get subscribers. The quality of the subscribers are a matter of a bit of debate at the moment. Some people say they're good, some people say they're not so good. It really depends, I think, on how you approach them, and we're going to talk about that in this video. Now, many marketers run giveaways. Some of the book launches also allow you to participate in a giveaway as the book launches. There's been quite a few of these recently, and they're a good way to get people onto your list. Now, a giveaway typically will run any time, a holiday, summer, Christmas, Halloween, whatever it might be. But the basic premise is lots of people get together, they put up a product for free in order to get the email address of someone. Most of them, once they have somebody subscribed, will show them a one-time offer in an attempt to sell them something. So you've got to consider that. Now, what you need to be aware of is that giveaways can get you a lot of traffic, but you're going to have to provide something unique and valuable to the giveaway. It wasn't too long ago that if you went to any giveaway, you'd see half a dozen copies of the same product being given away by different people. Now, it's got to be something unique, something valuable, and ideally you want it to be something of yours. You don't want to use resale rights or master resale rights. If you're using PLR, you want to have rebranded it. Why? Well, you want to make sure that it's got your links in it, it's promoting your websites and your services and so on. And that way, you're much more likely to make money from it. Plus, with most giveaways now, you do have to send some traffic to them. If you don't send traffic or get the right number of subscribers, or whatever it might be, you find your gift being demoted and displayed towards the end, or worse still, you find your gift being removed. It depends on the giveaway as to what the rules are, but you do need to send some traffic. But don't worry, because this can be difficult if you don't have a list. But if you don't have a list, don't worry, because what you do is the figures aren't normally too astronomical. They're normally sort of 5 or maybe 10, so it's not a lot of people. So all you do is you get your friends and family to sign up for it, or worse still, you create yourself half a dozen email addresses and sign up from different computers, something like that. There are ways around it, and I know people that have used them in order to get into a giveaway to start building the list. They're a great place for you to get involved in, but the real value to you is to create a one-time offer, because not only do they sign up, but there's a chance to sell to them as well, and you do get quite a lot of people buying, providing you're providing something of value. It needs to be something that not everyone else is selling, something that's unique to you, and something that they're not going to say, oh god, it's that bunch of resale rights stuff again. I see that all the time. If it's stuff that's genuinely valuable in the one-time offer, you'll get a high conversion rate, but you can get subscribers from it still. Now, how do you find out about giveaways? Well, just keep your ear to the ground. If you're on any internet marketing mailing list, which I'm sure you are, you will find out about them. You'll get messages saying, hey, come and join this giveaway, quick, sign up under me, and you'll probably get dozens of them for each giveaway. Giveaways will happen, as I said, any time of the year. They're most popular when there's an excuse to run the giveaway. So, a holiday season, Easter, Halloween, Christmas, summer, whatever it might be. As long as there's an excuse, they can run a giveaway, basically. But once you have a subscriber, you're going to have to warm them up. Now, the quality of subscribers, it's hard to say. Some people say they're good, some say they're not. I know there's a lot of people that will go into a giveaway, get a product they want, download it, and then instantly unsubscribe. Now, there's a way around that. Is what you do is you give them one gift straight up, and then you say, over the next few weeks, I'm going to provide you with more information to build on this, and you give them more and more over the next few weeks to build on what you're giving them, and that way they stay a subscriber. If you don't say that, you find a lot of people will get your message, download the product, and then go, yeah, unsubscribe. I don't want to get junk mail. It's surprisingly common, so be aware of that. But you need to build a relationship with them, so you can soft sell from day one. But you need to build a relationship with gifts and information, and you pretty much you're wooing them. You want them to understand and trust you, and know that you're someone that they can trust. They're going to be sitting there pretty much thinking, who's this marketer? When's he going to start selling to me? I don't know who he is. I don't know anything about him. So build a relationship with them. Use gifts, information, personal stories, things like that. Use that to sort of draw them to you so that they eventually think, oh, he's my good friend, that sort of thing. As I said, you may find you get a high number of unsubscribes. You get a lot of people that will unsubscribe very early on. You may find a lot of people use a Yahoo account or something that they never really check. They literally just use that account for signing up to something like giveaways. That does happen. But you are going to find some valuable subscribers. Many of them are freebie seekers, and I've known marketers say how difficult it is to market to giveaways. I personally haven't got very involved in giveaways myself, but many of them literally come to the giveaway because they want the freebie. But you will find that there are some people of value on that list. Now, I'm not saying avoid giveaways. I'm not saying that they're terrible. I'm saying that you need to use them carefully and wisely in order to maximize your profit from them. Be aware that you're going to get quite a few unsubscribes. Be aware that many of them will be freebie seekers, and it's going to take time to warm them up. Basically, what you want to do as you've warmed them up and they become customers, you want to shift them onto another list so that the giveaway list isn't cluttered with valuable subscribers that actually buy stuff. You will find it's going to be tricky to sell to them, because you've got to remember they may well have signed up for a couple of dozen or maybe more freebies, so they're suddenly getting a lot of emails. So that's why you need to build that relationship, tell them they're going to get gifts over the next few weeks, build a relationship with them, teach them and so on, and you'll do well from a giveaway. But a giveaway is a good place to build a subscriber list. Yeah, you may only get a couple of hundred subscribers, but it's a couple of hundred more than you had before, and you do that half a dozen times, you're over 1,000 before you know it. So very, very good way of building yourself a list. Pay per lead is the next method we're going to talk about. In this method of list building, you pay for every single lead provided to you. Now, this may be through a company, it may be through a service, it may be in a number of different ways. One way it can be is through a CPA network. If you've ever seen any of these cost per action offers, what you find is people will offer things like sign up, enter your email address for a free sample of I don't know, L'Oreal makeup or something like that, or some shampoo. But you can do something similar with internet marketing. You can offer a free report, free gift or something like that for people giving you their email address. Now with a CPA network, you can expect to pay $2 to $4 per lead, depending on how many hoops you make them jump through, maybe higher. A CPA network is going to require quite a substantial sum of money, so expect for them to ask you for a couple of $1,000 up front, particularly if you've never advertised on them before. But with a CPA network, you can get an awful lot of traffic if your offer's good and converts, particularly if it's easy for people to enter their email address. It does well, you can get a lot of traffic. There are companies and services that will offer you this pay per lead. They tend to be a bit more expensive, particularly if they're companies, but it depends upon the niche as to exactly how much it's going to cost you. But you need to ensure that the leads are genuine, and it's not some company feeding you either fake addresses or emails that they've harvested or so on and so forth. So you do need to audit the results and be aware of what the leads are and whether they're genuine. If you find that you're getting lots of leads with funny email addresses, you need to double check them, because there may well be a problem. So make sure you keep an eye on them and check they're genuine. But also, if you're buying any leads from anywhere, check the source of them. Have they been harvested from sites or websites or forums, or are they just random collections of letters and numbers or names or something? What are they? Are they genuine leads? Have they come from people who have opted in to receive information and are aware that their email address is being sold? You need to really check that, because that could have a massive impact on your business. If the leads are spam, you've wasted your money. If they've been harvested, you've wasted your money. If they've been harvested and you email them, then potentially you've got a problem because you just spammed, even though you bought them, because they haven't specifically opted in to your network. Now, I would honestly say to you, if you're going to do pay per lead, then you want to use one of the reliable services or a CPA network. That way, you're going to be sure that you're getting it. Now, it could cost you anything from a few dollars upwards. I mean, I've seen leads for sale for sort of $20 to $50, and those are in the business to business and financial niche though, so they're obviously more valuable to people. But a lead could cost you quite a lot of money, but you've got to decide whether it's worthwhile. Yeah, if you can pay $4 to acquire a lead, and you know that that lead is going to spend on average $30 whilst they're on your list, it's worthwhile. But you need to understand those sort of metrics before you can really decide how much you can afford to pay per lead. But you have to make sure the leads are from genuine sources. I know I've said this before, I'm saying it again. It is absolutely vital. If they're not, then you run the risk of buying basically junk. I mean, I had someone contact me the other day. I was selling a product, and somebody contacted me a couple of months ago now actually, and said, look, I really want your product, but I can't afford to buy it. Tell you what, I've got this database of 6 million email addresses. I will give it to you in exchange for your product. I sort of thought, 6 million email addresses, that's a lot. I sort of inquired a bit, talked about where they came from, found out what they were is they were just harvested from places like AOL and Hotmail and Yahoo and so on. So it was a lot of email addresses, but had I sent anything to them, it would have been pure spam. I'd have been in a lot of trouble. So you need to make sure the leads are from genuine sources, because otherwise you run the risk of getting your business shut down, being blacklisted, and being accused of being a spammer. And worst case, by the way, of being accused of being a spammer, you end up in jail with all your assets taken away. Now, you need to make sure that they will opt into your list. Now, depending on the process, you may just get a load of email addresses that you import. Not all autoresponders will allow you to do that, and if they do, they will insist that they opt in. But you've got to make sure that they will opt into your list. Now, you may well offer them a bribe or some sort of gift in order to do so. There are a lot of disreputable sources. A lot of people that will sell you harvested and spam email addresses. An awful lot of people. If someone comes to you and starts saying, look, I'll give you a million email addresses for $100, you know you're in trouble. You really do. That's someone to avoid. They're selling you junk email addresses. Reputable sources will charge you a decent amount of money per lead. You're not going to get a million email addresses for $100 from a reputable company. Period. You do have to be very careful about it. But whatever you do, never ever buy a list of harvested email addresses. The response rate will be dreadful. The complaint rate will be massive, and you could end up losing a server or a hosting account, which is the last thing that you want to do. But when you get somebody by pay-per-lead, just like with a giveaway and co-registration, you need to build a relationship with them. You need for them to get to know you as a person, to understand you, and for them to learn to trust you as being a valued advisor and not just somebody who wants to raid their wallet. So work with them to build a relationship. Pay-per-click is actually a good way of building pay-per-lead is a good way of building a list, providing and only providing they are genuine emails that are going to opt into your list. If they're not, then potentially you're going to run into a problem. But consider pay-per-lead. Be aware that you may well have to come up with quite a lot of money up front, several $1,000s possibly, but it is good and it will get you a lot of people very quickly. The question is what do you send to your list? Well, you send them valuable content. They've signed up to your list because they're after information. Unless when they signed up it said in big letters, all you're going to get is sales messages. That's not what they signed up for. They wanted valuable content, so give it to them. And what you have to do is train them or condition them in what to expect from you. Now, if you never ever sell to your list and suddenly you send a sales message, I will guarantee your unsubscribe rate will go up. You'll get angry emails and people will be annoyed at you. But if you sell to them from day one, then it's going to work quite nicely. They're going to expect it. They're going to be comfortable with it, and you're going to get a better response rate. Now, outside of internet marketing, in other niches, constant sales messages do not work. I believe the only niche you can get away with it in is internet marketing. In many of the others, there's no way you can get away with it. People just hate being sold to. Think about it. If somebody sort of approached you on the street and started trying to sell you something, what would you likely do? You'd walk away. Most people don't like being sold to. So you've got to train them to be expected to see sales messages, but not sell, because that's going to put people off. As I said to you, if you never ever sell to them, when you actually do, they're going to be so shocked, they're going to unsubscribe and be annoyed, because they're used to you as being a purveyor of valuable information, not a salesperson. You have to train them to realize that you are someone who sells to them, but also provides valuable content. If you sell to them regularly, if you do a soft sell pretty much on every email, a hard sell every 3, 4 or 5 emails, you're going to find that they respond quite well to it because they're conditioned to it. And when I say soft sell, I don't mean just a subtle sales message. What I mean is you talk about a problem or a product and casually mention, well, this is a solution to it. Or you talk about something that's happened, or you mention that you found a great product, something like that. A hard sales message is an email whose sole purpose is to sell a product. So that's what I think is one of the best ways of doing it, and people respond quite well to it, particularly outside of internet marketing. Every email needs to contain a sales message of some degrees, but not always a buy this. For example, one thing I've seen very successful is people talk about a problem that they've had, and they've just managed to overcome, or something similar to that. And what they do is they just casually mention that, well, I found this product, I used this product, and it helped me overcome it. Now, if you've got a good relationship to your list, what your list will do is go, that sounds good, and go off and buy it. And of course, that means income for you. You've got to get the balance right between information, soft sales, and hard sales. It is actually a difficult one to get to, and it depends upon each niche. What you're going to have to do is set it up so that you've got 3 or 4 soft sells and information, and then a hard sell, and see what sort of results you get. You may find that that particular niche does not respond to hard sells. It may be that they only respond to the recommendations and the soft sells. I can't tell you what a niche is going to respond to. You're the one that's going to have to test it and find out. Every niche is different. Constant selling is going to put off your subscribers. In internet marketing, you can more or less get away with it because people are always after buying products, because that's what internet marketers do. However, you'll find your open rate will be very, very low, even in the internet marketing niche, because most people look at the subject line. If it doesn't interest them, then they won't open it. So you've got to be aware of that. It's constant selling, particularly in the internet marketing niche, you're going to get low open rate. Outside the internet marketing niche, you're likely to get a high unsubscribe rate. One thing that you should do is use their name within the list. When you email them, put the name in the subject line, dear or hi, first name, use their first name, and even use it a couple of times in the text if it's appropriate. Now this impresses the hell out of people, particularly outside of internet marketing. We're all involved with autoresponders and the like all the time, so we understand how they work and think, don't think anything of them. But to Joe Six-Pack on the street there, it's magic. You just sent him a personal email because it's got his name on it. He doesn't understand about automation and autoresponders. So I do remember one of my friends phoned me up and sort of said, "Oh, I've really got to thank you for that email you sent me yesterday." So I sat and I thought, what email? I haven't emailed you for months. Is this a hint to make me email you because I haven't been in contact? And they started talking about the email, and what it was an email out of my autoresponder that they'd signed up for as a test some time ago, and it had their name in it, and they thought I'd personally sent them that email. And so in the end I had to say, oh right, yeah, yeah, oh, it's a pleasure, I just thought it'd be something you'd be interested in. You know, and they genuinely thought it was an email from me, handwritten to them. People outside of internet marketing don't understand about this automation and autoresponders, so you can really impress them, and it helps to build a relationship when you use that name, because people love the sound of their own name. It's one of the best sounds to their ears. So use it, but don't use it excessively. Use it in an appropriate way. Now, you've also got to make sure the subject line intrigues them enough to open it. Now, I tend to use their name in it because, again, it's that personal thing, and they go, okay, must be for me, it's got my name in it. What I would recommend is don't lie in the subject lines. I've seen subject lines where people say things like, you've got cash, or something like that. And I know people have opened them, read them, and realised that it's saying, the first line in the email is something like, would you like to get emails with this message subject line every day? And you know what happens in a vast majority of the cases? People scroll down, find the unsubscribe link, and hit it. You've got to make sure your subject line is honest, describes what's in the email in a way that intrigues people enough that they're going to open it, but not enough that they don't need to open it to understand what's in there. Avoid these cliche lines like bad news or something like that, unless it genuinely is. I've seen all sorts of emails, and bad news was a subject line that one of the gurus some time ago said, hey, I just sent an email out with this and it was really cool. So, everybody said, oh, bad news, let's try that. And a lot of people found that they got a very high unsubscribe rate. You've got to be very, very careful with the subject line you use. It's got to be enough information to make them want to open it, but not enough that they don't need to. It has to be honest, so that when they open it, they don't feel a sense of disappointment, because if they do, they will unsubscribe. But that's some information about what you need to send to your list. It's not too difficult. You've got to get the balance right, but that's going to come from testing, from watching your unsubscribe rate and your click-through rate and how many sales you make. But you'll get there. It's different from every niche. Unfortunately, I can't give you a figure. Rough idea is 3 to 4 soft sales to every hard sell. It can sometimes help, by the way, if you send a gift out just before the hard sell, or just after, or you send gifts every now and then. Again, you're going to have to test it. But typically, if you send a gift just before a hard sell, people have this sort of feeling that they almost owe you something. So when the hard sell comes through, they're going to feel a bit more eager to buy. They're going to feel like they owe you something almost. So that's some information on what to send to your list. Experiment, monitor your open rate, monitor your unsubscribe rate. If after an email you get a massive unsubscribe rate, I'd go and check that email, because there's possibly something wrong with it that's really annoyed your customers. So just be aware of that monitoring. But keep the subject line honest, descriptive, but not too descriptive. You want people to be intrigued and open your email.